So about 2 weeks ago, as luck would have it, I had a new pinball project basically fall into my lap. I was casually searching on eBay, and lo and behold, I found somebody essentially giving this machine away that was about 15 miles away from me, listed on eBay. I sent them an offer and they accepted it, and I was happy to add this to my collection. It needed some work, but it was all stuff that was very simple to fix. So when I bought the machine, went over and picked it up at the guy's house. He said the machine had been home use only. His father-in-law had bought it brand new in box and had it until he passed away, and then he inherited it and had been in his home ever since. It was giving him some coil trough issue errors, and he was just tired of messing with it. He tried to fix it and it just wasn't going to work for him, so he was just unloading it. He wanted the space back in his house, and I get that. Lucky me, just right place, right time, picked it up for a steal of a price, and got it home, started cleaning it a little bit, and I immediately was just blown away with just how well preserved the playfield was. So this game came out in 2001, but Stern actually did a couple later runs. So this one was from 2006, where they actually produced this one. So for a game that's almost 20 years old, this playfield looks immaculate. The shooter lane doesn't have any wear. The chance scoop, a lot of these are always chewed up and beaten up over the years. This one is absolutely pristine condition. I'll still probably order some Cliffies just to preserve those for an infinite amount of time. But overall, this thing was beautiful as far as playfield condition. It did have some weird quirks and everything. Still had the original incandescent bulbs. Replaced those all with Comet LEDs, which I don't know what it is about these Pat Lawlor Design games in early 2000s, but by God, they have a massive amount of bulbs in them. So that was a bit of a painstaking process to change out all the bulbs. Sometimes do color matching LEDs and inserts, but this one I thought it looked a little too rainbowy and hokey on the Monopoly board. It's very tempting to want to color match every single one of those property squares, but once you color match them, it just looks like a goofy Christmas tree. So everything's white in there, and I think it looks good. All Titan rubbers, clear rubbers all out, except for on the flippers. Once I got the LEDs in here, man, this thing really brightened up, which is great. Did have to sort out some board issues. Like I said, the seller said it had a coil trough issue, and I got to looking at it, and he tried to make some repairs, replaced the coil with the wrong coil that didn't align with the manufacturer. So that was issue number one. Issue number two, there was a couple blown fuses, which was actually the main issue that was giving him the coil trough error. So replaced those, and then I noticed on the PCB, unfortunately, there was some battery leakage and some acid damage that had leaked down to the RAM chip. Cleaned that all up, got that all resolved, and replaced the batteries for NV RAM, because why not? Like I said, I think every machine at this junction should have NV RAM in it. So if you got a pinball machine that's still got batteries in it, by God, spend the $40, $50, get the NV RAM. You'll thank me later, and you won't have any issues with potential battery leakage that could ruin your game. Once I got everything cleaned up on the playfield, everything's working great. Board issues sorted out, that was good. I replaced the old DMD with the color DMD. This is the Pen 2 DMD. Actually, normally I've said in various videos I prefer the color DMD that's LCD, that it doesn't have the dots, it's all solid. But I'm on a budget right now because I picked up multiple projects recently, and I've got multiple things going on simultaneously, so couldn't spend all my money in one place. Side art blades, again, you've heard me say in any video that I've ever made on pinball pretty much that all my games will always have side art blades. This particular Monopoly game always had a red backboard that's literally just a red board in the background. It was just screaming for a decal. Luckily, there's a company out there that makes decals for that. So it's got the Monopoly cash on the side walls, on the the graphics here, as well as this backboard. And then I had just some quirky touches here and there. I had a collector's edition Monopoly board laying around, had the gold pieces, so I put the gold Monopoly tokens on certain parts of the playfield, covering up the giant screws that are over here on the inlane guides, and that was pretty much it for the playfield. I did add this Hallmark Monopoly Man, just a little ornament here. I think he just kind of fit nicely. One goofy issue I have is I don't know how this happened, but the bank lid door right here, and it's like somebody set a curling iron on this thing or something, because it is heat warped beyond repair. Like I took a heat gun to it and tried to straighten it back out, and it would not happen. I have no idea how that would ever happen, especially considering this playfield was nice and pristine, and it didn't look like it had been used and abused for numerous years. So I'm on the hunt for a replacement one of those. Unfortunately, unobtainium, as they say. So I'll have to keep an eye out for one of those. That's really the only lasting issue I have with this, but other than that, everything else was cosmetic changes and updates. I put, you know, an LED bulb here in the back box, get rid of the incandescent bulb, replaced the T-molding, had black T-molding, I got gold T-molding. They only actually make 2 versions of gold T-molding, and they're both like super shiny and kind of brass looking. So I actually had this color matched to my armor, got powder coated armor, all gold, nice metallic flake to it, looks nice. I went back and forth with various different color options and choices of what I was going to use with this. I was leaning towards red, but I also have a secret project behind me that is probably going to end up with red powder coating, and I don't want to have 2 machines in my collection with bright, you know, red powder coating side by side or anything like that. So I went with gold. You know, green for money would have been probably an option, but I did some mock-ups on Photoshop looking at it with green, and it just didn't look good to me with the black. So went with gold. You know, money goes in with the theme and everything. Painted the apron to match, of course. It was, you know, flat black plastic, as a lot of those Stern aprons are. Made new decals for the apron. Did some Monopoly money decals along the bottom edge of the apron itself. That way, you know, the pinball, when it drains, isn't, you know, rubbing off the paint or anything like that. You know, made myself some new player cards, and that was it. New leg levelers, new, you know, leg bolts and cabinet armor and all that kind of stuff. Everything's gold, gold, gold. Also made my own shooter rod for this game. Found an oversized, you know, 6-sided die, and it was already black and gold, which was perfect. Just drilled a hole into it. I got the old shooter rod, broke off the end with a hammer, epoxied it on there. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy, simple shooter rod that goes with the theme. It's a fun, quirky game. It's that Pat Lawlor design that he had kind of, you know, reissued and rehashed over the years, that Whirlwind Addams Family style. You know, you got your shot through the pop bumpers, you got this interactive bank door with optos where you can hit it and it opens up. And you got a spinner, you got a drop target with a cop over here. We got a side ramp shot up here to the free parking target. You know, the goofy little mini flipper that spins clockwise and counterclockwise to give you some, you know, crazy chaos. You got 6 pop bumpers on this thing. It's a fun game. It's really quirky. Obviously, we're all familiar with Monopoly. We all grew up, you know, hating or loving it. In whatever household you were. You've got this railroad shot, which is really cool, which I like because it's backhandable. I mean, it's a great, fun layout, well-designed game. It's challenging. It's not stupid simple or anything like that, and I'm happy with it. Last little bits and touches I want to do. Probably going to do a, you know, DMD vinyl graphic skin here. I've started doing that on a lot of my games, and I've been happy with how it looks. So I'll either make my own or maybe see what's out there. And then I need to come up with something for a topper. There's a couple of toppers options out there on the market, and neither one of them really excite me. So I'll probably maybe end up designing my own. But those are the last bits and pieces that I need to really finish this off, besides, you know, replacing that bank cupboard lid. And overall, just happy to have this game, happy to have it for a great price. And if you've ever played it, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. But otherwise, check out some gameplay.
Own it all! Nicely done! faces. Protect everyone. Ow! Electric power is the future. What do we have here? Extra, extra, read all about it! That's more like it. Stop! Cash grab! Look at all that cash! More money! All one up! Look at all that cash! Time to waste it! Ouch! It's not! You want more? Ow! Money, money, money! Shoot again? Stay right there. You move 6 faces. Watch those speeders spin. Ah. Hey! One more. Not bad. Ball 2. Block. Multi, shoot the right ramp. Let's go. You move 4 faces.